Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and YouTube as well as OneSpotMedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
U.S. President Donald Trump threatens tariffs on countries supplying oil to Cuba. Prime Minister announces new defense ministry. And later in sports, under-20 reggae boys kick off World Cup qualifiers with a victory.
Now the details. One independent security consultant is speaking out following new action by the United States targeting Cuba. This after Donald Trump signed an executive order threatening tariffs on any country that sells oil to Cuba. The move comes as the United States continues efforts to block Venezuelan oil shipments to the island. Antonia Atkinson has the details.
Regional leaders are currently meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis for Caricom's 50th regular meeting. The two-day event will be addressed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and comes at a time when the U.S. has increased military presence in the Caribbean waters, while in Cuba, a humanitarian crisis is deepening due to the ongoing U.S. sanctions against the communist nation. Caricom leaders have been mum on the Cuba crisis, which is why independent security consultant Sanjay Badri Maharaj believes they need to take a stronger stand.
You say basically we're watching with concern. We express our solidarity with the Cuban people and hope that they come through this relatively unscathed. We stand prepared to help in any humanitarian way possible. That is a perfectly legitimate statement. And then articulate the security concern. CARICOM has a legitimate concern that should Cuba's internal situation continue to deteriorate, we could see a major influx of refugees into our countries, which we cannot cope with, and flag those issues.
He noted that Cuba has been under heavy economic strain for years and warned that increasing pressure could push the country deeper into crisis. Badri Maharaj said while Cuba has struggled to adjust to changing global realities, what he described as a U.S. bully mentality is not the answer. He also warned that if conditions worsen, the region could face a possible refugee crisis.
CARICOM's statement and the former heads of government statement really is neither here nor there. All it is background noise into a situation where nobody cares what we say. What we have to be concerned about, and this is our concern, which is not being articulated, is in the event that Cuba implodes, where we could have a refugee crisis. We could also have a massive proliferation of small arms coming out of Cuba that would destabilize our region. And that is something we need to be very, very concerned about and articulate that very clearly.
At the same time, he said Cuba's government must also be willing to make changes if it expects meaningful help from the international community.
There has to be a change. And I think you're going to see more and more pressure from within Cuba for change. Now, there's always been a pro-democracy movement in Cuba that's unaffiliated with the United States. And I hope that that movement gets stronger. But something has to give internally in Cuba. And an orderly transition to a democratic form of government is right now the only option that's viable.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing else that's going to happen.
He says how this situation unfolds could have serious implications not just for Cuba, but for the wider Caribbean region. Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
Political commentators are weighing in on the comments made by Dr. Horace Chang on Monday that civil society groups like Jamaicans for Justice are, quote, living off blood money, unquote. It follows heightened criticism of police officers for not wearing body cameras, which Dr. Chang described as unjust, selfish, and cruel. He also suggested that some individuals may appear pleased when there are increases in the murder rate, implying that those with international affiliations could benefit from additional funding. Speaking on Power 106's Morning Agenda program today, political commentator Jermaine Bart said Dr. Chang went too far.
too far. I think he sort of fed into a public narrative, a very popular one that many Jamaicans hold, that says that, civil society organizations are very much in favor of defending the interests of the unlawful. That is not so. And I think that as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security and Peace, he ought to have been a lot more sort of wise in his comment. The comments are unhelpful.
However, commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang is standing behind Dr. Chang. He said while the framing of the statement could have been better, Dr. Chang was not wrong.
Chang will walk it back and say, I meant that, but we don't want to attack anybody. But we want people to express their things, possibly. But when JFJ says things like, well, after 5, a mother and 4 children get their throats cut, and talk about how about rehabilitation for the killer, what do you expect people to think?
It must be noted that the GFJ issued a statement on Monday categorically rejecting the assertions and stated that the agency is funded by overseas partners. The agency described Dr. Chang's statements as inflammatory and said it will be seeking legal advice on how to proceed. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has officially announced the creation of a Ministry of Defense. Under the new arrangement, the Jamaica Defense Force will be administered directly through the Ministry of Defense to ensure stronger coordination at the highest level. The ministry is based within the office of the Prime Minister rather. Previously, administrative oversight of the JDF was handled through the Ministry of National Security.